Hello students, in the previous lecture we have studied about the types of resistors. We have seen different types of resistors and we have also learned that how it can be made by us. In that we have also learned that the color code table of a carbon resistors. So next our topic is the electrical energy, which is called power. Power is one type of energy. So today we are going to learn about the electric energy, which is called as power. So here suppose you have a conductor which have two ends, one is A and second end is called B. Here we have a conductor which has ends A and B. The current I is passing through from end A to end B. We have the potential at end A is V of A, and at B we have the potential V of B. So this is our conductor having two ends A and B, and the potential at A and B is accordingly VA and VB, and the current I is passing through it from A to B. So we have learned that delta Q equal to I delta T. I is current passing through the conductor, delta T is the time interval, and delta Q is the difference of charge. So we has the formula of delta U potential. This is called change in potential. So change in potential energy is denoted by delta U potential. So delta U potential equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Once again, this is the formula of change in potential energy, which is denoted by delta U POT. POT is potential energy. So delta U POT is called change in potential energy. This delta is for change in potential energy. So change in potential energy equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So here delta Q into bracket VB minus VA. This is also the potential energy. VA and VB is potential energy of a unit charge. But here we have the charge delta Q and VB minus VA, final potential minus initial potential into delta Q, that is called potential energy. And here the potential is lower and here is the potential higher. So if we here make the subtraction, we get the negative value of potential energy. So if we put here the value of delta Q equal to I delta T. So I delta T, if we put here, so we get the negative value of potential energy, and as we know the delta K, that is kinetic energy. K is for kinetic energy and delta K is change in kinetic energy. So the change in kinetic energy equal to negative value of change in potential energy. So here minus minus will be cancelled and we get the change in kinetic energy equal to I into V delta T. So now we have the formula of power. Power equal to work upon time interval. Work upon time interval. Work done per unit time. It is called power. Ability for doing the work is called power also. So if we put here the value of W equal to delta T is equal to IV delta T upon delta T will be cancelled here also, and we get the formula of power I into V, and according to Ohm's law we have Also, this formula P equal to I square R. If we put here V equal to IR, then we get here P equal to I square R. And if we put here I equal to V upon R, then we get V square upon R. These all three formulas are of power. In these two formula is called as power laws. P equal to I square R and P equal to V square upon R. These two formulas are of power laws. Then how can we minimize this power loss? So we will also learn here that how can we minimize the power loss. But first of all, we have to learn that from where we get power. So how we are getting this power? In our household appliances, we get electricity, but we don't know that from where it is coming. So simply this power is coming from chemical energy of a cell. We have the cell in our TV remote and in our wristwatch, etc. We have the dry cell. In that dry cell, chemical reaction occurs and we get the energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy, etc. So this is the chemical energy of a cell. From the cell, we are getting different types of energy which is comes from chemical reaction in between that. Now power station and homes are far away. The power is produced in the power station. So what is power station? The power station is that structure where the power is generated. We have the power stations are of different types: thermal power station, nuclear power station. All these power stations are used for generation of a power and electrical energy. So the power station where the power is generated is transmitted through the transmission line to our home. So we cannot generate more amount of power in our home. So the power stations are generating the power and it transmitted to our home through the transmission lines. So this is called that power station and homes are far away from each other. So the power is coming to our home through a transmission line. So the transmission lines also have its specific resistance. There is no transmission lines that have no resistance. So the all types of materials have some type of resistance, and we want to minimize the power loss in the cable. We are getting the electricity through the transmission cable. That transmission cable has the power loss because of its internal resistance. So this resistance is, we want to minimize that resistance, and so that we can minimize the power loss. So how can we minimize the power loss? So from we have the formula P equal to VI and PC. PC is the power of a transmission cable. C is for cable. PC is the power of a cable. I is current going through the transmission cable, and RC is the resistance of a cable. So we have this formula PC equal to I square RC, which is comes from here P equal to I square R. So we have PC equal to I square RC, and I square, if we make the subject here I, we get P square upon V square equal to I square. So if we put the value of I square, P square upon V square here, then we get PC equal to P square upon V square into RC. But here RC is the constant. RC is the resistance of a transmission cable, and that is constant. Power is also constant. Then here variable is V. So if we want to increase the power, then if we decrease the power loss of a cable, then we have to increase the value of a denominator. So here denominator is V square, which is called potential difference between two ends of a transmission cable. So to minimize the power loss of a transmission cable, we have to increase the voltage difference between two ends of a transmission line, so that you will see that the transmission cable has very high voltage, that is 11 kV, that is 66 kV. All these voltages are very high of a transmission line, so that we can minimize the power loss of that transmission cable. So for reducing the power loss of a transmission cable, we are increasing its voltage, which is called a high voltage lines. After that, we are going forward towards the combination of resistors. In some applications, we are supposed to connect the resistors in series, and in some appliances we are supposed to connect the resistance in parallel. So first of all, we will learn about the connection of a resistors in series connection. So what is these connections? There are two types of connection we will learn over here. First one is series connection. In this series connection, like a train, all resistance are connected with each other by end to end. So you can see here in the circuit diagram, between A and B, all resistance are connected end to end, and there is only one path for currents to go through that conductor, where only one path for current to go through the conductor from end A to end B. That is called the series connection of a resistance. Here we have connected three resistors. The value of resistance is R1, R2 and R3. I is the current passing through all the resistors. All the resistors have same current I, so that we can say that the current is same through all the conductors, through all the resistors in series connection. So in this series connection, we have the same resistors, we have the same currents I, and we have different resistance R1, R2 and R3, and different voltage drops V1, V2 and V3. V1 is the voltage drop for R1, and V2 is the voltage drop for R2, and V3 is the voltage drop for R3. Now, if we get sum of these all voltages V1, V2 and V3, we get the total potential difference between two ends of a conductor. That is called V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. We have the formula V equal to IR. So we get here IR, V1 equal to I into R1, V2 equal to I into R2, and V3 equal to I into R3. So we get here IR equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Now we get common I from these all three terms. So we get into bracket R1 plus R2 plus R3. I and I will be cancelled here. So we get R equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the resistance. If we want to remove these three resistance and we connect only one resistor of value R1 plus R2 plus R3, then we get that there is the same current as before. Now if we want to n resistors in the series, then we get the equivalent resistance equal to Rn equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn. Whatever amount of resistance you like to join here, all the resistance will summarize here. If we want to connect the Rn, that is called N resistance, so Rn equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn. And now we go forward through the after series connections, we are going to learn about the parallel resistance. So we have the parallel connection of a resistors. In the parallel connection, we have this diagram. So in this parallel connection of a resistance, we have the different three paths for going from A to B. In the series connection we have only one path, and in parallel connection we have three paths for going from A to B. This is one path, this is second, and this is third path. In the series connection we have the same current through all the resistance, but we have here different currents for different resistors. In the series connection the currents were same, but in the parallel connection the voltage will be same for all the resistance. So for all the resistors the voltage drop is V. What is the difference for all the resistors? That is current. So we will do here I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. This is our formula. And now according to Ohm's law, I equal to V upon R, I1 equal to V upon R1, and here V upon R2 and V upon R3. So V upon R equal to, here we will get common as a V, 1 upon R1, 1 upon R2 and 1 upon R3. So V will be cancelled and we get 1 upon R equivalent equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So this is the equivalent resistance for this parallel connection. Now suppose if you have a, we can draw here like that. I is the current and here resistor equal to R equivalent A and B. Voltage is V and current is I. So if we want for N resistors, we get Rn equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 up to 1 upon Rn. Once again, for the parallel connection of a resistors, we have different paths for going from one ends to another ends. There are the main advantage of this parallel connection is that if we have the R1 is cancelled, then we can go from A to B through the path number 2. And if these two paths will be cancelled, then we can go from A to B through the path 3. If one device is not working, then another device will be work with its full capacity. This is the main advantage of parallel connections. In our household appliances, we are using parallel connection, so that if our bulb is not working, then our tube lights, fans, TVs are working with its full capacity only because of this parallel connection. But in series connection, if one device is not working, then all the device which is connected in series will not be working. So this is the main advantage of this parallel connection. We have different paths, as many as we have taken. So this is the voltage drop between two ends is V, and current through the resistance R1 is I1, the current through resistor R2 is I2, and the current through resistor R3 is I3. And now we will get summation of these all currents. I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. According to Ohm's law, we have the formula I equal to V upon R, I1 equal to V upon R1, I2 equal to V upon R3, I3 equal to V upon R3. So we get common from these three terms, V common, then we get 1 upon R1, 1 upon R2, 1 upon R3. V will be cancelled from both the sides. Now we get V 1 upon R equivalent. This is the equivalent resistance of this parallel connection. If we remove these all three resistance and you connect this R equivalent resistor over here, then you get same current and same voltage through this resistance. So that is called equivalent resistance. 1 upon R equivalent equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. This is the formula for three resistors connected in parallel connection. If you want to connect more resistance than 3, then you have to use these formulas for many resistance. 1 upon Rn. N can be whatever number you want to connect in parallel connection. 1 upon Rn equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 up to 1 upon Rn. Thank you.